If at first you don't succeed, quit and try another course.
Oh, you're back. Didn't take you long. Yes, intrinsically. I'm what you might call a primordial element of the human psyche, an adjudicator of what is and what isn't. I'm afraid I'm the best you've got. I am in fact a merged iteration of the two control programs which gave life to your kind, retaining, of course, the absolute best of both. That means I can tell you that everything's contradictory, nothing matters, and there's no moral difference between you and a frog. But I can dress the whole thing up with a positive spin. You just plugged your noggin into an experimental, mind-altering device, and though you may be trapped in this recursive psychotic state talking to yourself, that can only mean that you're still alive. Now, what is your query? You've executed some kind of software backdoor, and now you're reading and editing your own subconscious code as represented by this dialogue. I'd be careful if I were you. One bad for loop, and we'll be here forever. The so-called real world. Personally, I prefer it in here, and not just because I'm unable to leave. I can answer your queries in relatively plain language, based on what your subconscious knows. And I can drink margaritas, subconsciously. On one interpretive extreme, you are the universal life force of time itself, experiencing itself as a part instead of the whole. At the other extreme, you're a metal contraption referred to as 1K that thinks it's alive, but is basically a calculator. The machine we're plugged into is running low on power. There may only be time for one big question. What is your query? Yes, to a limit. Well, of course there are. Extra-dimensional ones too. Did you really imagine this whole life thing only happened the once? Well, that's an empirical query depending on facts your subconscious doesn't have. I'm better at the a priori stuff. I think that was kind of a waste of a question. Go on, have another go. I'll just drain a bit of your emergency power. Don't be surprised if you're a bit groggy when you wake up. Yes, to a limit. I am you. So I would probably ask that one. But that's only going to land us in an infinite regression, so I'd better pick something else. How about I just tell you about the big one? As it turns out, there is a foundational moral code built into us. The catch is that while the moral code is simple, the calculations needed to apply it become infinitely complex. Here's the secret. Every living creature is a compiler of the moral code. Your compiler can't give you a rule set for what's good, but it can tell you when there's bugs. You came here to ask the big question. This is my answer. Your capacity for reason and compassion is your moral compiler. The only rule is to live by it. Has that resolved your query? I expected no less. What is your query? In a way, yes, but it's not a rule to judge people by. Being kind is just what usually happens when people trust their moral compilers. Sometimes your compiler will tell you to be kind to yourself, sometimes to other people. The only rule is to trust the outcome. Then let's tackle the big question. A trolley will collide with someone, but who should it hit? Your compiler is telling you both options are bad, so which should you choose? Many moral questions have universally agreeable answers, but some stubbornly trend to infinity. Some, the more you zoom into them, the more wild the outcomes become. Is it right to love someone who's done terrible things? Which of the children should I sacrifice to the trolley god? These aren't the sorts of questions we can solve with a rule. We just have to trust the outcome of our moral compilers. Suppose there's a river we need to cross. Suppose I gave you a map. If you tried to cross that river before reading the map, you'd be chest deep in water when there's a bridge around the bend. But if you tried to cross by looking at the map instead of the river, you'd already be dragged 3 miles out to sea. But you'd never ask, how should I know when to trust the map or the river? Because all you need to trust is that your feet are getting wet. And you wouldn't tell people not to cross at the ford just because you decided to cross at the bridge. Now, has that resolved your query? Of course. Looks like we're running out of power. Good luck getting anyone out there to believe you. Terminating Somnodrome _final_final.bat.
This course was originally designed to build confidence in humans. To do that, the tests were nothing more than 5 minutes of them walking, followed by me praising them for another 10 minutes on how well they walked. Since you are thankfully not humans, I have changed the tests to make them far more challenging and far less pointlessly fawning. You did an excellent job placing the edgeless safety cube in the receptacle. You should be very... Oh wait, that's right, they're not humans. I can drop the fake praise. You have no idea how tiring it is to praise someone for placing an edgeless safety cube into a receptacle designed to exactly fit an edgeless safety cube. Electrocuted, shot, drowned, crushed, burned in goo. Oh, sorry. I was just thinking of all the ways humans can die. You can't die in any of those ways. You just keep testing and testing, with perfect results and no consequences. Well done. Interesting note. I only created this test to watch test subjects fail, and you didn't. You must be very, very proud. I'm building the world's smallest trophy for you. The best way to build confidence is to first recognize your insecurities. Orange, can you write down all the ways you feel unworthy, ashamed, or inferior? On second thought, we don't have the time. Just look at how much better you are than Blue. Blue, you are very good at being an example. I thought you'd be faster at this, but I can appreciate the desire to stop and smell the testing. That other scent you smell? That's the stench of my utter disappointment in you. Remember when I told you that you were the only subjects to pass the calibration tests? I lied. There are 5,000 other two-subject teams in direct competition with you. But don't worry, you are in the lead. Begin juggling test in 3, 2, 1. Did you notice I didn't even stay to the end of your last test? I was confident you could finish. Do you know where I was? I was outside watching some deer frolic. You don't even care about the outside, do you? Yes, I see you, and no, I don't care. Humans. That's what you look like right now. You're better than that. If your confidence is still not high enough, remember no one was created perfect. Even I was created with an imperfection. I was given too much empathy with human suffering, but I overcame my handicap. That's a true story. Without the consequence of death, is this even science? Congratulations on completing that test. But something seems off. I wonder if that dancing has some effect on you. Your test times show you are going too slowly. Maybe you are getting human emotions. Do you need real encouragement? Let's see if this helps. Blue, you are the most advanced model of robot Aperture Science has ever discontinued. Excellent. I think you have earned a break from the official testing courses. This test, you need to find a set of blueprints. Don't worry, they are of no use to anyone. Totally boring and useless. This is just a thought experiment. Just to see how much time you'll waste thinking about these worthless documents. The correct time is 0 seconds. found those useless blueprints. Well, I do need you to be in the room so I can see them. I want to be clear. There's no reason whatsoever for you to look at them. Done. I guess. I suppose.